shit, yeah, they bread stank. Walk up in the club, dripping like I'm fresh paint. I could see through the facade like an...
What's going on, fight fans? It's another great day when you love MMA. Welcome back to Mad Matty Fight Talk. April 22nd was a massive day in the fight world, both in boxing and MMA. UFC had a huge heavyweight showdown that was on display between Sergei Pavlovich and Curtis Blades. You had Ryan Garcia taking on Gervonta Tank Davis in the boxing Showtime world. And then Bellator had a hell of a fight between Patchy and KOs Stots. We'll jump right into the UFC real quick because I just want to give these guys a quick shout out. First of all, Sergei Pavlovich got the job done again in round one. He had a first round knockout over Curtis Blades. Now, Blades has been making a case that he would give Jon Jones the toughest fight, and he really needed to prove himself. He put a lot of extra pressure on himself for this fight against Sergei, who has been on a freaking tear. The dude's 6-0 in the UFC, all first-round knockouts. He has 15 knockouts in his career, all in the first round. So this guy has 15 first-round knockouts, but he's also undefeated in the UFC. This guy's never even touched the second round. Now, it's impressive because Blades did go for some takedowns, and Pavlovich was able to stuff those. And you guys saw, man, in these exchanges, it just took one punch. When he caught him clean, he hurt him and he put him down, and he did what he did to Tai Tuivasa and Derek Lewis. So Sergei Pavlovich ended up getting the W. Now, they need to hurry up and get this Jon Jones versus Stipe Miocic fight finalized and done with. I want to see Pavlovich fighting the winner of that Jon Jones and Stipe fight. That man has to be the #1 contender. I mean, the only other person I'd want to see him fight against is Cyril Gane, but judging off of what Jon Jones did to Gane, I'd rather see Pavlovich hop the line, get right up in that #1 contender spot, and fight the winner of Jon Jones and Stipe Miocic. Man, that guy is just amazing, dude. He has power. He can go the distance. He just hasn't had to do it yet in the UFC. And he seems to have that sweet punch, that freaking nuclear bomb of a hand, and puts these guys out cold. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about Sergei. Do you think he could defeat Jon Jones or Stipe, whoever he ends up fighting? Or do you guys think he's the #1 contender? Now we're going to transition over to the boxing world real quick. We had one of the biggest boxing matches ever go down in history between Ryan Garcia taking on Gervonta Tank Davis. Both of these guys are undefeated. Both of these guys got hella knockouts. It was pretty much a fight between speed versus power is what a lot of people were saying. But to me, both of these guys had the speed. Gervonta Tank Davis, to me, that guy really has the power. I mean, he has grenades for hands. The dude hits extremely hard, and he carries the power late into the fights. We've seen him knock guys out way later in fights, you know, round 8, 9, 10. He can put the fight away. He's not really necessarily a fast starter. He's kind of a slow starter. He actually averages the lowest amount of punches for a champion, I believe. I'm not sure if that stat's accurate, but I know he doesn't throw a lot per round compared to a lot of other guys. Now, Ryan Garcia, on the other hand, flashy, super quick, has a nasty left hook, and you heard him talking about it, man. He really thought if you touched him with that left hook, he'd put him out. So I predicted this fight was going to be a knockout for Tank Davis in the 7th round. I thought he was going to flatline him, maybe a TKO, whatever. He ended up finishing the fight, I believe, in the 7th round with a nasty body shot. A lot of people are trying to say this fight looked rigged. Maybe, you know, Garcia got paid. I think it was a great shot. I think the rehydration clause proved to be a big factor in this fight. You got to remember, Garcia wasn't able to hydrate after the weigh-ins. He had to stay sucked in on weight till whatever time of the day of the fight. So, you know, you're not going to just start tanking water and gaining a lot of weight. That's a very smart thing to implement in a very big fight like this. So kudos to Gervonta Davis, because fighting is mental warfare. It's not just about your physicality. It's not about your skill set. It's also about how smart you are. And look, Ryan's, you know, trying to get kudos for, I took the fight under whatever stipulations. Well, that's not really smart to me. I mean, you definitely needed to hydrate. You could tell that played a factor. His body it looked so skinny and sucked out. And when he ate that body shot, I mean, Gervonta was ripping to the body early and often. And when he put him away late in the 7th round with that nasty body shot, you saw it hurt. It took it a second to sink in, and he just couldn't breathe. He even said it himself. Now, Gervonta also landed a nasty counter left, I believe in the 2nd round, and dropped Garcia. I mean, I thought that was how he was going to end the fight. I thought it was going to be multiple knockdowns, and he was going to end the fight. But Garcia's a durable dude. He just didn't look like himself. He didn't look like he was committing to his punches. After he got dropped in the 2nd round, he kind of, you know, was trying to be fast but not stay in close enough to get a counter, to get caught. I think he felt that power of Davis and didn't want to be around that for the remainder of the fight. Now, a lot of people are saying they want to see a rematch. I'm sure we will, but I'd rather see a different fight. I mean, look, Garcia did not fight good at all in that fight. There was a few flashy moments where he was unloading some nice combos, but like I said, when he felt the power, he did not want to be anywhere near that. Davis fought smart. He was staying tight, landing a lot of nasty body shots throughout the entire fight. I mean, he's not a fast starter. He makes it count. When he connects, he hurts you, whether it's to the body, whether it's to the face. Now I want to see Gervonta Davis take on Devin Haney or Lomachenko. Either way, I want to see him face another high-level fighter. I don't want to see him waste his time in a rematch in a fight that he pretty much, in my eyes, dominated. Now, I'm no boxer, so maybe all you boxing fans thought Ryan did some crazy stuff in there, but it looked like Davis barely got touched and kind of just ran through Garcia, which I thought was going to be a massive test in his career. It turns out it wasn't. So shout out to Gervonta Davis. And man, all you guys who bet on 7th round knockout or TKO, you guys got that money, huh? Now we're going to move on to Bellator. We had the Bantamweight Grand Prix finale, the $1 million fight. Checks are on the line. Belts are on the line. You have KOs Stots. You had Patchy Mix. Both of these guys with phenomenal records. I believe it's like 19-1 versus 18-1 or something crazy like that. Both of these guys have only one loss, been completely dominating. Very good bantamweights. You had a submission specialist in Patchy Mix and a well-rounded striker wrestler in KOs Stots. To me, I thought this fight was going to go the distance and there was going to be a lot of grappling exchanges. Turns out it's not. Patchy Mix came in with a great game plan, landed a freaking nasty knee in the first round, I believe the middle of the first round, and slept Stots. Knocked him out cold, had him talking sideways to the crowd. He had no idea what happened. It was beautiful. I mean, you want to talk about the fastest way possible to get $1 million. Nothing like a first round knockout. I mean, these guys barely even got it started. Now, I did hear in the interview afterwards that Patchy Mix, he wished the fight would have went longer. He wanted to prove that he was better and he wanted to dominate in every aspect. I respect that because that shows the warrior spirit that this guy has. But let's be real here, bro. It's $1 million. You got some belts. Why would you want to? That's the best thing that could possibly happen. You get a clean knockout. Rufon didn't take any extra damage that he needed to. Both of you guys are going to bounce back from this. And you get paid, man. This guy is the Bantamweight Grand Prix winner. He's a millionaire now, officially, after yesterday. Yeah, man. And he's called out, I think he wants Pitbull to beat Sergio Pettis in their fight so he could claim, or unite the belts. Because I believe he's the interim champ right now. And Pitbull's cutting down to 135 to fight Sergio Pettis for the undisputed belt. So, man, I mean, the bantamweight division runs so deep in Bellator. It's beautiful. And I honestly think that, this is a hot take here, but if Patchy Mix was in the UFC, and I even believe KOs Stots, those guys would be giving the UFC bantamweights a serious run for their money. They would be right up there with Aljo. I think Patchy and Aljo would be one hell of a fight if they ever did a cross-promotion UFC Bellator fight, which I don't think they will. But Patchy Mix, I think he would have Aljo's number. I think he's a better striker, and he is one hell of a submission artist. But anyway, shout out to this weekend, man. What a bunch of great fights. It was rough keeping up with it. It was exciting. UFC, boxing, Bellator. I just watched all of it. For a fight fan, it was like a dream weekend. So I'm just stoked, man. We had so many good fights. Hit me in the comments. Let me know what you guys thought about this weekend. Don't forget, man, subscribe to my channel. Hit me with a like. I love the support. I appreciate it. I love to argue about fighting, so let's get it going, man. Help me get to 1,000 subs so we can go live and really argue about this shit. But anyway, shout out to you guys, man. Thanks for tuning in. See you on the next one.
Haters talking shit, yeah, they breath stank. Walk up in the club dripping like I'm fresh paint. I can see through the facade like an